it's Melianoia, and welcome back to another Explaining My Art stream. I definitely incorporated more pixel art this time since I've been saying that I've been wanting to learn, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that I decided to do, as I've been playing Lizard 101, I got a pet. It's called a litter critter. I really like it. Made me want to draw a slime girl. I like things that make me want to draw new things, so I decided to draw kind of like it, but just like a slime girl that has stuff that she can like keep in her body. So I tried a multitude of colors for the skin, but overall green was the best and I liked it a lot. So I did that. I don't usually do more revealing or very feminine clothing like I did this time, but since she's a slime, like the best type of clothing that she should be more revealing. That way you can see the slime aspects of her, like you can't cover it up. So I decided to put different things. There's like a scroll, she has a pencil, a paintbrush, different potions, 2 death potions on her feet, some other different types of potions that she can use, a journal in her leg. I'm horrible at drawing feet, so I'm not going to zoom in on the toes. But I wanted to do something different and go with much more brighter colors for the outfits, and the design that I would never do before. It's definitely pops. I wanted something that wasn't neutral against her skin. I wanted to try to do something different, use brighter colors that stood out against the green and really went with it. Something that wouldn't take away from the character as a whole, but something that would go together, but also catch your eye and make you want to look at it. So to do that, I did a more apricot orange and then contrasted it with like a nice lighter purple, and then a very bright yellow, and did different designs like bubbles and swirls and stripes. And I really like it. I think it looks really good. Sometimes when I look at the design, I don't know if the outfit was what I wanted the most, but I feel like it's just because I'm not used to doing the more revealing type clothing. So I definitely do like how it came out looking at it now. I did the eyes in a very specific way. I really didn't know how to, if like a slime girl would have her eyes as like white around the area of the eye. So I was like, I'm gonna look at like the one slime girl that I know is very popular, and that's Sue from Monster Musume. So I decided to look her up and see how how the whites of her eye looked, and they were like a darker kind of grayish color. So I decided to do that, and I think it definitely makes the eyes pop in a way. So I really like it. For the hair, which is my favorite part, I wanted to make it look like a bunch of goop. Some of it does kind of give like Medusa vibes in my opinion, like looks like snakes or whatever. But I wanted to be like a big glob of goop. If I was better at shading, it would look even better. But we just can't get to that point. But if I zoom in on it, you can like see all like the slime designs. If it's kind of zoomed out, you can't see it as much. But I'm hoping to get better at that soon, and also the shading of the clothing. That way everything looks more authentic. I've been trying to get better at drawing bodies, and feet are definitely not it. I definitely will not be drawing toes again. But overall, I really like it. The next one, I wanted to do character design in a pixel art form, because not only was I wanting to like learn more pixel art and see what I could do in terms of character design on pixel art, but I just wanted to see if it was harder or easier to draw bodies for me on there, if I liked how it looked better. So I did draw a character, and here she is, and I absolutely love the colors that I went with, and I love how she looks. Please do ignore the hands. They are my mortal enemy. They're not the worst, but they're certainly not good. So for this one, I did try to do a little bit more of the shading on the clothes to make it look like there's wrinkles. It's not the best, but it's pretty okay. For this one, as y'all already know, I like brown, so I had to add brown. But I knew that I wanted to do blue and orange because they're complementary colors from each other. So I wanted them to stand out in that way. So I chose, personally, I don't like a royal or navy blue with like a burnt orange. I only like orange and blue together if it's like a really light blue with a really light orange. So that's what I decided to do. And then in order to not make it seem like two warm colors or two cool colors and then one contrast, I decided to do like the neutral brown. That way it just all like, they're all separate but they come together well. And then while I was going through colors, because I went through so many color combinations, I did some dark color combinations, but I found that I liked the light ones better. So when I was doing that, I found a very, very beautiful like wine red, and I loved it so much that I had to put it as the eyes. And I actually think that it works really well because if you look at her face, you're not drawn away from any part of like the hair or the eyes. Like they stand out separately, but like the colors go together. And then I didn't like when I made the outline of the eyes black, so I kept it white, and I personally like that more. For me, it was definitely easier to make like lips with a little bit of like a pink outline around the drawing of the mouth and the nose. So I think that the drawing the face was definitely so much better and looked so much better from like original drawings. And then for the hair, I'm always like scrolling on Pinterest and seeing what multiple hair color combinations, and I saw a blue and orange one and I was like, ooh, I want to do something like that. So I decided to make it tri-colored hair and I really like it. As for the outfit, I really have always been interested in like the leg warmers, and I decided I didn't only want leg warmers, so I decided to do arm warmers as well. And I think it looks better than if it didn't have both, because I don't know, I feel like it would be so much coverage on the bottom and then too much showing on the top. So the original plan was to make her whole body covered. So like she was going to be wearing a turtleneck, and then she was going to have tights. But then I was like, that's not it. When I drew it, the outfit just didn't go together. So instead, I made like a nice top, covers the chest, but then the rest of it that falls down is see-through, and then a nice blue skirt. I really like how the colors went together. I did try like switching around the colors, but the orange and the brown just goes too well together for me. I love like autumn colors, so I just had to have the brown and the orange together and then do the blue separate. But I think that really makes the top stand out from the rest of it. And then just nice brown boots to go with it, because neutral color shoes are just usually better. But I really like how she turned out. I'm happy, like this is my first pixel body that I drew, so I'm actually very happy with how it came out. It definitely looks raggedy in some places just because like I'm learning how to draw bodily anatomy in a pixelated way, but I really like it, so I hope y'all like it too. The next two pictures are just pixel art practice pictures. So I used already created characters in order to make them. I have been wanting to draw more backgrounds, because something that I really love that artists do is that they create a background that really brings out the character, and that's something that I really want to learn how to do. So I decided to draw a background, kind of give more of a story than just a character just being shown in a certain type of way, like they're posing for a model shoot. So what I decided to do was make just a generic background, you know, trees, grass, a river, things like that, mountains in the background, just like a very basic background, just because it would have been the easiest and have multiple different terrains for me to see. And also it was a background that was very focused on making things that seem more far away, so that's something that the focal point is not always the best for me, so I wanted to do that. And I made it dark with a moon and raining. Very thick rain, but what I decided to do was take Muna from Hololive ID and then Raura from Hololive EN and put them together. Recently, it's kind of like a month ago now, when Raura had her 3D live, she had Muna as a guest, and I really liked their dynamic together. And then Muna's character is very based off of like a moon princess, is what I see her as. So what I decided to do was take one of her very elegant outfits and make her look like a moon princess and have her be shielding the lost cat, Rora, from the rain with an umbrella. So I'm really bad at drawing umbrellas. It took me forever to draw this umbrella, like really bad. But I really like it. Rora doesn't have like a secondary outfit yet. She has her kimono, but she doesn't have like an extra outfit. So I really thought it was cool that her original outfit, she's lost, she sits down, she doesn't know what to do but just sit in the rain. And then this moon princess comes over and gracefully puts the umbrella over her head to shield her. And I just really like it. It definitely was interesting because since I'm learning pixel art, I don't really know what canvas size is best for putting characters yet. So when I was drawing this, I used a canvas size that I was kind of used to, and it was definitely kind of difficult to draw the characters because like it's very thick pixels. However, I wouldn't want to have it any other way because I really do like how it came out. It definitely was something really fun to do because in such a small space with such big pixels, you're trying to draw the designs of their outfits, and it can be a little difficult, but I was able to do it and I really liked it. Something else that I tried on this one is that I see with a lot of pixel art that instead of outlining everything in black, that instead it's outlined with a darker color of the color that they're working with for different parts. So for the hair, if it's a light pink, then a darker pink is going to be used as the outline. So that's something that I wanted to try, and I think it actually turned out looking really good. I really like how it looks in terms of Muna's hair. You can't see it much on her dress though, because her dress is like a dark gray, almost black color. So it's not as easy to see, but I do think that it looks more natural because naturally people don't have a black outline around them. It does usually make the drawing look more like stand out more, but I don't know, I really like how it came together this way. I did like learning how to do that, and I might do more art like that just to see if I like it more than with the black outline, but it's something that I think will come to me the more that I draw it. Lastly, I decided to draw another Hololive member. This one was before all the other artworks I've shown y'all. I wanted to practice pixel art with specific poses, and I found a pose and it looked kind of creepy. So I was thinking I needed to use a more creepy seeming character, and Shiori is an archiver. She's a prisoner that escaped. She's known for her more daring eyes that are very bright yellow, so they have a very creepy aspect to them. She's a more gothic style, and overall, I feel like she would fit the creepy vibe. In terms of her character design, I also wanted to use a character that was already made because they're already shaded. So I could practice shading in pixel art that way. And so I went through the whole drawing, I drawed it, I colored all of it, and it wasn't creepy enough in my opinion. I felt like something was off. So what I thought was making the eyes brighter. So I've never done it before, but I was thinking, what if I put a more opaque layer of black on top of the original drawing and then just erase it around the eyes? And when I did that, I really liked it. So I decided I wanted it a little bit darker. So I did another layer, erased the eyes, and that's what made them really pop and bright. And I really like it because it looks like she's coming out of the dark, and the first thing that you see of her is her eyes, and then you recognize the rest of her presence is before you. And I think it's really creepy. And then she already has a very V-like smile, so I went ahead and tried to do that as well, and I love it. I love how the shading turned out too. I did copy the shading from the original character design sheet of her just so I could practice it. So I looked at it, tried to copy it as best as possible just to see how I would be able to do that. It's not the best. It's kind of hard. I tried to blend it as best as possible. It is a little bit harder to blend when you are doing pixel art. And then she did have the very fur-like design on certain parts. You can't see it very well because I did darken the picture, which is probably for the best because it wasn't the best in the first place. But I must say, the way I drew these fingers though, my hand did not look bad this time. I never copy, like I don't put down a body or anything like that and trace it. Most of the time I like to look at a pose and then attempt to draw it myself, just because I feel that helps me learn more than if I just traced it. Sometimes tracing is good because it helps with muscle memory and stuff, but personally I like to attempt to draw it first, and if it ends up being bad, then that just means try again. I did have to redraw the fingers a couple of times because me and fingers ain't friends. But I really love how this one turned out. I think she looks amazing. It is one of my favorite artworks that I've drawn recently, probably ever, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm really in love with how it turned out. I think it looks really good, and I'm very proud of myself for it. So I'm hoping to do more artwork like this, where with my own characters, or with myself, I can draw them and actually shade properly. I have been watching shading videos, so maybe we'll get to it. I've gotten better at shading skin and where clothes are. It's just shading the clothes for them to not look fake is the thing that I'm messing up on. Thank y'all so much for watching, and if you enjoy these types of videos, just let me know by liking and subscribing, and I will be doing more. Thank you. Bye-bye.